Hello and welcome to day 16 of my 30-day 3D modeling challenge. Yesterday I was completely wrong, I think, on the number that I said, so I had to put it on the screen that it's day 15. So yesterday I hit the halfway mark of this challenge, and it's going pretty good so far. However, lately these last few days I've been like have I've had my schedule more full than I'm used to because I've been unemployed, and I'm like not a very I'm not in a very I haven't led like a very active life so far these last few years, but yesterday I got to work part time. Yesterday I just got a few hours of just dishwashing for 7 hours. Just standing up and washing dishes at this restaurant in the same building as me. They didn't call me like last time they called me was like over half a year ago. And even then I only got a couple of days to work, and then they didn't call me again. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess they're not gonna call me again. And yeah, now out of nowhere they're like, could you perhaps take a few hours? And I'm like, I'm taking all the hours that I can. I thought you had forgotten about me, but yeah, I thought I was like gonna be like more resilient since I had started working out regularly half a year back. But I realized yesterday after standing up on my 2 feet without sitting down, washing dishes for 7 hours still sucks ass. Manual labor is still fucking horrible, even when you're more fit than before. I Maybe it's because I'm not used to it. It takes consistency to get into that, get your body used to it, of course. But it's hard to reach that level of resilience when all you're getting are like 16 hours no, not 16 hours but I don't know, maybe 30 hours each year, because they literally only need a dishwasher, an extra dishwasher, an extra couple of hands on deck, like only a couple of times during summer, because that's when all the people, yeah, there's gonna be an upsurge of guests at the restaurant, so of course they don't need me the rest of the year. Uh, but yeah, it's nice. You gotta get that money when it's offered. But yeah, as you can probably see, this is a tomato that I rolled. My first one. I have never made a tomato before. I think it turned out quite nicely. Yeah, check that cheeky tomato shape. It was fun. The whole process was very straightforward. So I think I took about how long did this take? Yeah, less than an hour. 55 minutes altogether, both the modeling and the material making. I hope my volume isn't too low. I've been recording some singing yesterday before heading to the dishwasher shift, and I got recommended to me that you should have, in order to like avoid background noise while recording singing, you should have your microphone sensitivity to as low as possible, and just keep your voice keep your mouth as close to the microphone as possible, like this. But it's kind of hard when your microphone is like not leveled with your head, and it's hard to sing properly when you're when you have to hunch over. Um, and you shouldn't really like hold onto the mic when you're recording something that's supposed to sound sort of professional. Um, it was just a draft. I'm gonna have to redo it. Either maybe today. No, maybe not today. I'm way too. I need to save my energy for the oncoming shift. I have another dishwashing shift later today. Even more hours all at once. But at least I will not have been at the gym right before. I think that was also like another thing that made the whole shift that much more painful for me. I also borrowed a couple of shoes that were too small. That, I think, is probably what affected me the most, because after a while I couldn't really walk properly. So today I'm gonna wear different shoes that are proper size and hope for the best. I don't know why the subdivision modifier does that with some loops, when it makes it all zigzaggy and impossible to multi double click select. You just have to connect them like this, as I'm doing now. Very tedious. I could have like maybe used the merge by distance command, but I didn't want it to affect other vertices. But then again, I could have just selected that specific part of the match and done that. But you know, it's always you're always way smarter afterwards, after the fact. Like when you're in an argument with someone and none of the good arguments come up in the moment when it's the most crucial, and all the good arguments come up several hours after. Yeah, here I'm like trying to figure out how to like make the unwrapping not so stretched on the bottom and the top parts of the tomato. But in this case, I don't think it really matters too much, because it's all gonna be just one color after all. One smooth tomato surface. So the warping is not gonna be visible. You know, I'm like trying different approaches to make it less stretchy, but I think yeah, after a while I realized that it probably just doesn't matter. It is an organic shape, so the squares on the UV don't have to be uniform in that way, because it's going to be a smooth texture. The most detailed part of the tomato is clearly the green part. What is that? What is that even called? The hat, the stalk, the vine, leaves, the leafy vine. I don't know. Probably has a name. I'm gonna look it up. What is the tomato hat part called? Called. The term tomato hat is often used informally to describe a wide-brimmed hat, sometimes with a rounded crown that resembles a tomato in shape. That's not what I asked. I. What is the tomato green part called? Yeah, a vine. It's a vine. Oh, the calyx. The green part at the top of a tomato where the flower was is called the calyx. Is that it? I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna fact check because I don't trust this AI shit. Calyx. Yeah, so it's a general word for the part that connects the flower and the vine. Yeah, it's a nice little bit of trivia about this completely ordinary mesh that we made today. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Like the little sort of like yellowish, more withered parts of the corolla. No, not the corolla, the calyx. Already forgot. The corolla is the the flowers. This is no flower. This is a fruit. Is tomato a fruit or is it? Yeah, it's gotta be a fruit. Is tomato a fruit? I've heard this argument. Yeah, it is a fruit. But why do people call it a vegetable? Why do people call tomato a vegetable? People commonly refer to tomatoes as vegetables due to how they are used in cooking and meals, even though botanically they are fruits. While fruits develop from the flower and contain seeds, tomatoes are often incorporated into savory dishes like salads and sauces alongside other vegetables. Okay, so it's basically, in a culinary cooking sense, it's a vegetable, but in a botanical sense, it is a fruit because of how it grows. Yeah, that makes sense because I think, isn't it like a vegetable? Aren't vegetables usually like grown underground or like no, not on the ground, but yeah, like never mind. I'm getting sucked too deep into this fucking rabbit hole. Like yeah, almost done. This I had quite fun making this very simple leaf part, like this simple calyx texture, because it was yeah, you know, it's nice to paint with different layers on. Yeah, here I'm like attempting the iconic water splashes, water bubbles that are always like on the display, on a tomato display or a tomato picture. You know, there's always like a bit of bubbles sprinkled on top to make it look fresh. And here it just looks like warts. I probably should have meshed those out, like just really tiny spheres that are transparent instead of just making it the texture. But that was it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.